It is a very foggy evening here in Central Florida, but here's the deal. I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm at the starting point for how we're going to do this, and we actually just got version 13 here this evening. So let's go here just to confirm it for everybody. Somebody thinks it's crazy, but here we are, version 13 for full self-driving. So a lot of updates here. We're in our Model X now, and we're gonna have to figure out how to set the camera up right so that you'll be able to see, because in the Model X, it's all gonna be here in front of the steering wheel instead of over here at the screen. Excuse me, getting over a cold at the moment. So lots of big improvements here. I am just now for the first time checking this out. It took about an hour for this thing to install, which is very interesting, but I thought it would be fun to go to perhaps Disney Springs. Make it a little bit of fun to get to a cool destination. So we're going to let this do its thing. Let's make sure we don't have any new settings we need to change here. Full self-driving. We can even now select start from park, which is cool. We will allow that to be possible. Brake for confirmation. I'm going to keep it in standard for now. Max off speed. Actually, smart summon, fine. Relative. Good. Okay, I think that's it for the settings that we need to worry about. Here's what the start button looks like on the screen. Now with full self-driving V13, you actually press and hold to start full self-driving supervised. So I don't think I'm able to go to a wider angle lens here, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try to set this thing up right above my head-ish, as long as full self-driving doesn't get upset thinking I'm holding the phone. So let's get this moved over here and see if we can set this up somewhere that you can actually see everything. Let's see here. What if we set it up right here? I don't know if that's going to create issues with me being too loud or anything like that. Let's try it this way. Let's see. Orientation is locked. I can't switch it back over. Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll have to make this work. I apologize if there's like a road noise rumble. That's very possible. But this is about, I think, as low as we can go and make this work. Maybe we can do it from here. That's too much off to the side, I think. Okay, so let's try it from over here. And how about an angle like that? What do you guys think? How's that looking? Is that gonna look all right? I don't know if it's gonna be too blurry to be focused on just one thing, or what we're gonna be focused on, to be honest. Just lock this thing down a little bit. Lots of things here. There we go. And I think, assuming you guys can see and everything looks all right, then that's the angle we're gonna go with. So yeah, let's go with that. Okay, hopefully this works out okay for everyone. I would love to move this just a little bit more, actually. I'm sorry, should have had this set up a little bit better before I started, but oh well. All right, now Should be able to do a last tightening on everything. Try to not let this thing bump around too much. All right. That's a little bit tighter, and that is tighter. Okay. All right, so like I said, we are gonna head to Disney Springs. I'm gonna put my headphones in now. Let's see. It's better. All right. Let's see if you guys can even hear that. Can you guys hear me through my headphones, or does it sound the same? Probably just sounds the same, doesn't it? Okay. Well, where's this? All right. So that's the best it's gonna get for us. Let's get going here. So I'm not sure what all you can see. I don't know if we're gonna be able to switch the focus here. Oh, I can zoom in. I just can't zoom out. Man. Okay, that's all right. Here we go, guys. Let's get going. Okay, so we're gonna start here. So press and hold, and then tap brake to continue. Brake is tapped, and the vehicle is off. So that's pretty cool. And by the way, I have a partner with me on this drive. He is in the back. My cyber pup has come along for the ride. So it could be a good ride tonight. All right. So if it's not coming through the headphones, I'm going to take them off. All right. Big turn into 3 lanes both ways. And we're going to have a pretty quick right-hand turn. Mile up ahead. So this is the half-mile point now, and this I would normally get over into the right lane at this point at least, before our turn up here. So I'm not so sure about that particular issue being resolved. So 3/10 of a mile. Okay, now it's going over. So right at about a quarter of a mile before it got over into the turn lane for reference. The particular route we're about to go on does have some very challenging aspects to it, and we are coming in a little bit hot. Okay, that was all right. So this route is going to have a couple of unique challenges ahead of us, and one of them is less than 5 miles away. It is a really tight, kind of blind S turn. It's a very intense 90 degrees each direction of the S, and it's supposed to be done at a slow speed. There's a lot of big potholes on the sides, and so far this area has not been able to be solved with full self-driving. V12 has been great except for that location. So I'm not holding my breath, but man, that if it is able to do this S curve up ahead without any drama, I would be blown away. So let's just see how it goes. All right. Very good so far. And we we are on the standard setting and at a 10% offset. So sitting here at 44 miles an hour in a 40. One of the things that is nice about that is if you leave it at like 10%, it'll naturally go to this speed. And if you want to go faster, just like in regular autopilot, just move the scroll wheel up and it'll go faster if you want it to. I do not have a helmet on, but I feel much more confident in FSD than needing that. I don't know if you guys can tell. Not too much that it kills visibility, so we'll see how that works out through this drive tonight. Yeah, the signal might be a little bit weak here and there. I'll keep an eye on that, but it should be okay overall. Sorry about that if it cuts in and out a little bit here and there. As you can see, there's nothing out here. This is kind of like the last undeveloped area in this part of Orlando. By the way, if anybody knows how to turn your iPhone into the wide angle lens on a live stream on YouTube, that would be really great to know. Yeah, it wouldn't let me change the lens from the start, and that's where I thought I could do it from. Now I can zoom in, but I can't zoom out farther than 1x. So I'll show you. So I can like zoom in like that, but I cannot zoom out farther than this, which is a bummer because that wide angle lens on the iPhone is really good, especially at night. It gives you focus area on just about everything. It's a little bit cleaner of a look. Whereas right now you're looking at a clean road and a blurry screen in front of my steering wheel. I can't force it to focus on one or the other. So let me know also if you guys would like, I can try to turn the camera down a little bit to get it to focus on the screen rather than the road. If you'd prefer to look at the screen over the road, just let me know what you would like to see. That would be better for your experience here. Yeah, and maybe the screen's not too bad that it's ruining anything. It's just kind of blurry. All right, cool. Okay, so we are coming up here soon on this Intense S, and I will show you it's not this big wide sweeping part that we're looking at in front of us. It's actually just after it. So when it turns to the right, that's always been a challenge. So here we go. Problem number one is going to be speed. It never slows down for this area. So it comes in hot, and that is not going to be good. So if you're following somebody, they're going to slow down and it can figure it out. But obviously there's nobody in front of us, so this is going to be interesting. So here we go. Right where those headlights are ahead is where this turn is. So as you can see, the speed limit is now 25. We're still doing 47 miles an hour going into this turn. You can see the right arrow sign. And should I take over? Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? I'm not taking over yet. Okay. Okay. All right. That, wow, that was so much better than it has been before. Yeah, and for some reason it doesn't like to stay in the lane right here, and it's doing that. So wow, that was a little nerve-wracking. I didn't want to give up on it. All right, that was fantastic. That has always been a huge challenge for FSD, that S-curve we just went through. As you can see, it still starts in a little bit fast, but it definitely figured out soon enough to slow down. So it slowed down a little bit later than I would have liked, but much, much better. Yeah, so I will try my best. I try very hard to let the car do what it's gonna do up until that last moment where it's almost too late before I take over, because I really want to understand what the car is doing and how it's figuring these things out. It does not, I have not had an issue with late braking for red lights in the X or our Y. I do have that issue in our Cybertruck. So I'm not sure if it's better or worse because it felt normal to me. So we also only had one red light so far. So we'll have plenty more ahead as we roll through the middle of Disney property here soon. So what's gonna happen now is we're gonna jump on a little bit of a highway, 70-mile-an-hour highway here for maybe 3 or 4 miles, and then we'll be on the backside of Disney property, and the rest of it will be going basically through the middle of Disney property to get to Disney Springs. So we'll see how this goes. This is really good. We're giving it a nice mix of different scenarios. The only thing that I don't have that I can think of in this route is a roundabout, but it's kind of done well with roundabouts even before V12. So it would be nice though to include that in here if I could find one, but we'll take what we can get. Pretty normal on the highway. It's everything you'd expect. It's very natural too. Some of the things that I've been catching myself doing is I will, in full self-driving, I will hit the accelerator to get up to my preferred speed on the highway, and then it kind of just lingers around that speed. But for tonight, I'm not gonna do anything if I can avoid it. So as you can see, 74 miles an hour, just kind of holding that, maybe slightly accelerating, but nothing crazy. It would be nice to see it go a little bit faster. Offset is 10%, so it should be doing 77 naturally anyways. So a couple more miles here of basic highway on good old Florida toll roads. And by the way, I can see it shaking a bit on the tripod. I don't know if that's translating through. Does it look pretty stable, or is there a little bit of a shake on your end watching this? Just curious. Okay, minor shake. It'll go away when we're not doing this speed. So a couple more miles. Thank you. while we're coming up on the exit here in a little over a mile, I'm reminded of, I've historically been critical of FSD until V12 came out. And it's interesting because halfway between when V12 started rolling out and now, I started seeing other people who have traditionally been very critical of FSD start sharing some positive sentiment on it. I personally, I'm not ashamed to say this, I was wrong, but I did not see how we were going to get, quote, there with FSD until V12, and V12 changed everything for me personally on how this is viable long term. So these updates have been really awesome. I've even been able to do FSD with my wife in the car and no complaints, so that's a huge win for most of the time, except for that S-curve back there. So that's just been a big change. I don't think people realize how big of an improvement this has had since V12, and if you haven't tried it since V11, like, you have no idea. It is nothing like anything before then. All right, here we go on the exit. This is a rolling exit to get us, I don't know, 270 degrees with no stop. So it's just a merge lane. No traffic really though, so we won't have to see it merge into a bunch of cars. So this area back here actually is where a lot of cast members live. A lot of the college students that work at Disney live in the apartments back here. Disney owns a handful of apartments in town that all the interns get to live in. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All right. That was pretty clean. And for those of you as excited as I am every time I come through this area, up ahead is that wonderful, beautiful sign of the most expensive, happiest place on earth. Yeah, so I'd say right now in this moment, we are just in standard, so maybe it's not a fair sentiment. Maybe on the way back, I'll do hurry to see the difference. It seems to take longer than I'd like to get to kind of that target speed. So we'll change the profile over to hurry for the way back and see if that one area is different. Those 3 different settings didn't used to make any difference in my opinion, but sometime late V12 they added hurry, and that I've used quite a bit, and you can definitely tell a pretty big difference. Yeah, thanks for the congrats. We've got like 13 hours to go before we pick up our new Model Y. Very excited about that. The deals have just been getting stupid crazy good, and I couldn't not do it. So we're very excited about it. We went with Ultra Red. I could not pass up on Ultra Red, even though I went with the intent of getting the absolute cheapest possible one I could find. But I just couldn't not do it this time. That Ultra Red is so good. And then over to the right behind these trees is Animal Kingdom, which you cannot see right now, but it's right there. Yeah, for the people who guessed white interior though, like that's the right guess to go with. I could not find a white interior within 200 miles, so there was no way. The crazy thing was, while I was at the Tesla store, I'm looking at the inventory, and every 5 minutes I'm hitting refresh and it's different, and cars are disappearing so fast. And that's when it was like, all right, I'm either gonna have to order one, or as soon as something pops up that is what I'm looking for, I just have to do it. And that's what I ended up doing. A lot of people that took advantage before today, congratulations, especially those who purchased and financed with 0% or 1.99 or 0.99. I think that these are the best deals we're going to have, certainly for Model Y, for quite some time. Once Juniper comes out, it's going to be substantially more expensive on a monthly basis than what these Model Ys are for right now. There will be no subsidized interest rates or inventory discounts for a long time on refresh Model Y. And that really drove a lot of the decision making in this as well. So far, yep, so no hard braking to get to the red light. That was super smooth, butter smooth. And yeah, and then back to that, yeah, so the Model S did get lifetime free supercharging, which is cool. 3 months for Model 3 and Model Y, and 3 months of full self-driving for free, which only qualifies for inventory vehicles, which was funny because there were literally no rear-wheel drive long-range Model Ys available, you know, an hour after I got the one that I did. They're gone. And I think it's going to be really hard to find them throughout the rest of this year. All right, nice smooth left turn here. This is driving very much like a human right now, which V12 has been pretty good. This is definitely even more natural than that. And as your tour guide on the left is, that is the Coronado Springs Resort. And as we come around the bend, if you look really close in the top right corner, you just might see the Tower of Terror. I don't know if the camera angle is right for you to see it, but right ahead is the newer Marriott resort that they built next to the Swan and Dolphin. Yeah, so Tower of Terror, if you could see that bright neon light, that is the sign on the front of the Tower of Terror. The building itself is actually not lit up tonight, so that's interesting. Just the neon sign. So at the stoplight, this is the old entrance to MGM Studios / now Hollywood Studios. Meaning the boardwalk and all of that's over here on the left, and Epcot, of course, up here a little bit further and on the left. Doing a nice job passing traffic, even coming to a stop sign, or a stoplight, I should say. Oh man, your Model Y ended up getting 6 months of free FSD. That's really cool. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. I would not ask anybody about that. That's a win, whether it's meant to be or not. Congratulations. That got well for you. $600 of a subscription right there for free. All right, we are less than 2 miles away now from the parking lot. I have set the destination at Disney Springs, and we're going to change the settings for our return journey back to our part of town. I'm gonna go with a hurried profile and see how much different it is as far as getting to target speeds. Yep, FSD transfer is back. That's good till the end of this month. I think this is the 4th time that has been made an option, and I hope we start seeing it as frequently as we have, despite what Elon Musk has been saying about it. It really should be a one-time thing, in my opinion, but whatever. So we're already slowing down for the red light ahead, so that was very smooth. Usually it would go through that last light before it would do anything regarding this light up ahead. So that was really good. Nice and smooth acceleration. That's another thing that's improved here. This car tends to want to really accelerate at a green light. Right off the line, it just accelerates super fast, and I think it's a little bit more than is necessary, but yeah. So up ahead you can see Cirque du Soleil as part of Disney Springs, which is where we're headed. And I just now realized I selected the wrong parking lot. Let's see if I switch it real fast, if it can figure this out in time to turn left right here. Yeah, pretty good. Look at that. One more lane. Let's see if it can make it. Nice. That was pretty good. Yeah, very good. Wasn't sure it was going to be able to get that done in time.
In 500 feet, turn right. Then your destination will be on the right.
All right, and they've got all this stuff kind of blocked off. So there's cones right in front of me. Okay, so it's already figured out something's not right. Let's see what it does here. Probably has no idea what to do. Yeah, it can't turn that way because that would be going the wrong way. Let's see what it does. Are we gonna go the wrong way? We are gonna go the wrong way. Oh man, I'm so disappointed.
Your destination is on the
Oh, it did so good until then. Man, what a bummer. So now it's kind of coming to a stop and it's parked itself. So it made it to the destination great until it went the wrong way into the parking lot. So that's unfortunate. But I mean, that's a real scenario, you know, that can definitely happen where they cone off a parking lot, and it's gonna have to be able to figure out how to do that. So let me pull over here and let's change some settings and set our destination for the return trip. And if you guys have a preference, I can change the camera angle to a more downward position. That would put the screen more in focus than the road this time. Completely up to you guys though. All right, so end trip here. Let's go to Lake Louisa. There we go. All right, so it's basically going to be the same route, but in reverse. That same S curve, we'll see if under the hurried profile, going the opposite way, if it is any better or the same or worse. So switching this over now, let's see if I can show you what we're doing here. I wish I could get the wide angle set up, and I'm so sorry. I just can't do it without a streaming service outside of YouTube, which is super unfortunate. But all right, we're going to go to hurried. Everything else is going to stay the same. So 10% offset. So keep that in mind as the target. When you see the speed limit, we should be going at least 10% over that. That's what it should be targeting as the speed. We'll see if it does more of the same of hitting the speed limit and kind of plus or minus, just kind of staying in that range. Hopefully we can go a little bit faster into this hurried profile. And I only saw one police officer on 429, so we'll keep a close eye on our return journey, see if he's still there. And last call, this angle, or I can turn it down a little bit more and it'll focus on the screens up here. So completely up to you guys, but it would have to be faced down quite a bit in order to focus on what we got going on over here. And if I turn on my dome lights, maybe that'll help. So let me know which you guys would prefer, and we'll go with that. So far, no comments, so I'm going to leave it right where it's at, where we have more of a downward, but you can see this, unless I start seeing a bunch of people say otherwise. And we will get going here in just a moment. See what the dog's impressions were on the situation. What'd you think, Murph? Yeah, he said it was good. So when the cyber pup says he likes it, all right, I'm getting a lot of people saying the original angle, so that's what we will go with. The original angle. So let me turn it just a little bit. There you go. And you can see a little bit of the actual big screen, but everything that's going on is going to be going on right here. So there's Cirque du Soleil. Start full self-driving, press and hold, and then press the brake and it'll be ready to go. There are no speed bumps on this route, but I can look into that for a future video because I can't think of any that I could divert to get us on a speed bump. V12 seemed to recognize them pretty well and slow down for them. So, all right, so we're in the middle of the parking lot. I'm gonna hit the brakes and it's going to start going. So here we go. Oh, it's gonna back out of this spot. Okay, it's not gonna go forward. Interesting. So since it's going in reverse, it does want me to tap the accelerator, which I'll do now. Okay, I tapped it. Does it really want me to do the whole thing in reverse? So it's just sitting here. So I guess I have to do the backing up. Yeah, it just stops. So I guess I'll do this until it tells me to stop. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. But we're kind of back. We're not trying to park. So if I stop, no, it won't go into drive still. So I guess I'll go all the way into this spot back here and see if that's enough. Okay. So it's just sitting here. It's not going into drive. And I don't think there's any indication that it's going to on its own. So I guess I'm going to need to put this into drive and let's see if it goes. So interesting. I'm going to go back into that spot actually, because I'm just now recognizing it is no longer in FSD. So let me put this thing in park real quick. And we will try that again. I very well could have accidentally done something to mess this up. Tap brake to continue. Okay. So now it's backing itself up. Okay, I must have hit something. Maybe I hit the accelerator before I hit the brake pedal. I don't know. All right, so that's cool. It backed itself up and put itself in drive. So that's pretty cool. That is a new feature with V13, by the way. Being able to go in reverse by itself. Make it more interesting. I don't know that I can. That's actually quite a bit going on between here and there. Let me see. Everything else is just straight, you know? Maybe I'll add a destination farther north and we can try to hit a roundabout or something. Let's see if we can make that happen. Okay, good job not stopping for that yellow. Nice and smooth. And yeah, let's see here. Let me take a look at the map. Let me see if I can take us a little bit farther north. Like, let's go to I don't know. Oh, sorry. See, I'm looking at the screen too much. I'm gonna get a strike. Tacos and tequila. Let's go there first. Let's see what it does. And then we want to go the crazy way. Yeah. So what this is going to do, it's going to add quite a bit of miles, but this will add an interesting aspect. And right now we need to get like way over. I don't know if it can get over in time. Because it needs to get over like another lane, or okay, we got a dual turning lane. Oh, okay. Not to the light. So, all right. Yeah, okay, so we'll make it a little bit more interesting. The route that it's going to go now is pretty well out of the way, but it will allow us to go through some roundabouts and potentially a speed bump or two if they're still there. I don't know if they made them permanent or not. You can kind of see the Epcot ball on the left, by the way. Pretty cool. This is also going to take us by the Magic Kingdom, so you will have officially gone right next to all 4 parks here in Central Florida at Walt Disney World. Congratulations. All right, very nice. Turn on red, I like it. Waited just long enough before going and then just going. Very smooth, very natural. And we are in the hurry profile. It's definitely getting up to its target speed quicker so far. Right. So far, so good. It's definitely a lot better at getting to that quote target speed. So far, the fastest road we've been on is 40 miles an hour, though. So once we get to a faster road, we'll see. But it's so far a lot better. This person next to me is going to crash, hopefully not into me, but it's a Honda, so you know how that goes. I can hear their I don't know if you can hear that, their serpentine belt is just screaming right now. Honda bump, that's right. So crazy story up ahead where we're going to turn right at the light. If we would go straight instead, those are the homes of probably the richest Disney fans in the world. It's called Golden Oaks, and I think the cheapest home I've seen there listed recently was $5 million. You're in the backyard of the Magic Kingdom essentially, and I believe their clubhouse is staffed by Disney cast members. So it's a whole Disney thing, but they're all custom homes built with a Disney touch. 5 million plus, straight ahead, Golden Oaks. It's funny, they sent a mailer to us. Yeah, I couldn't even afford the annual dues for that place, let alone a home. Got the wrong address, my friend. All right, very nice. Another natural turn there. All right, speed limit is 45, so it should go about 49, maybe 50, 48, something like that. Got right to the speed it needed to be. So there's a huge difference between the standard profile and hurry, and so yeah, whichever you prefer in your driving style. I bet most people would appreciate the hurry profile though. All right, there's a police officer behind us, so hopefully FSD does us good, because I don't think he's going to accept us using FSD as an excuse. Yeah, I don't know how everything has looked on camera, but the stops have been really good, very smooth, way better than what our Cybertruck has been doing lately. It's never been too bad in our X or Y, but this is really, really good. So it's a good observation. Speed bump. If there wasn't a car in front of us, we could see if it did it itself. That's a hard one to see because they're not painted very well. I'm tempted to stop it and let everybody go. Yeah, I don't know how much of this is the car reacting to the car in front of it and how much of it is it knowing there's a speed bump there. Well, no, I'll say this. I could feel it slowing down there once it could see that speed bump after the car went past it. So it's definitely recognizing them. It'd be nice to know, though, going 35 miles an hour, what it would do.
500 feet, turn left onto State Road.
So still slowing, yep. So it's recognizing them. We'll get more speed bumps ahead, though, that hopefully we'll have a better chance of coming at them without a car in front of us, kind of piloting our speed. So interesting to think about. So the car got to the parking lot as requested, but to do it, it went in the wrong way. Is that a successful arrival? Oh, we're gonna hit, oh man, I thought we were gonna hit the speed bump, the curb there. No, definitely did not. That's good. So what do you guys think? What's your opinion? Was that success? Because it got us to the destination? Or going in the parking lot the wrong way, an automatic fail? Yeah, it was definitely a success getting there. The part getting into the parking lot with unexpected cones and closed off entrances. I don't know. I would have drove through it like myself, so I don't know. I'm sure that is the type of stuff that's going to be heavily debated. I do appreciate, though, that that's where we're at. And those are the types of things we're talking about with full self-driving. Instead of pulling out in front of people and not stopping and not turning, things like that. It's come so far. It's just a good reminder. So this will be boring for a moment. Once we hit the first stoplight ahead, sorry, I'm looking at the screen. Got it. Once we hit the first stoplight ahead, then it'll change up quite a bit, and it won't be quite as mundane. So, a good question about stops and regen. It definitely feels like it's using regen instead of the brakes. That's probably a really good way of explaining before and after. Before, it felt like it would use the actual brakes instead of regen to its maximum potential. And here it seems about the difference. At least what I'm experiencing here in this seat. See if we can clean off any of that. It's kind of that time of year where we start to get humidity in and out. So our windows like to do their thing. They fog up. Man, I need wipers, huh? All right, coming up on that first light, so things will start getting more exciting here shortly. Almost. Well, I don't think I ever get this many green lights in a row, and normally I wouldn't be complaining about that. But it's not helpful when we're testing FSD. I'll just be honest. All right, we got a flashing yellow up here, which is always hit and miss. I cannot find a rhyme or reason for when it works, and when it doesn't, it has no impact. So that's good. Nice smooth stop here. Almost to the good stuff. So we got 2.5 miles to our turn, probably 3 miles to the next turn, and then another mile. So we got 7 miles to our waypoint that brought us this direction, and then we'll have some roundabouts and some speed bumps. And but man, so far I'm pleasantly surprised at the improvement. It's hard sometimes too when it's just select people who have it, and they're always so bullish on Tesla and full self-driving specifically. So you never really know to what extent the improvement really is. But this has been really good. I think the S turn right off the bat, where I always have issues, I think that first indication was really good. Everything else has been a matter of a lot smoother, both stopping, certainly accelerating in this car, definitely accelerates a lot smoother. Not so much of a need for speed moment going on every single stoplight. And using regen instead of the mechanical brakes, way more natural. And Murphy in the back, the Cyber Pup, said he's enjoying the ride, so that's good. I have not heard him slide out of the seat yet, so we have not had a hard brake at all. If there was enough room up here for him, he could just sit right next to me and that would be better, but he's too big. All right, so we are half a mile. We'll see if it's still roughly a 1/4 mile before it tries to get over into that lane. All right, it's starting to okay, it wanted to slow down there for a moment. It was thinking about getting in behind him. That's interesting. It's cool when you can feel what it's thinking. So now it's gonna go ahead and get over for us to take a right here at the stoplight. Nice and smooth so far. And we've got green arrows. So yeah, very nice, very smooth. I like it. I'm very hopeful once we get to these speed bumps. We don't have anybody in front of us. See if the car will slow down on its own and recognize them. My insurance costs in Florida. It doesn't matter if you're in a Tesla or a Honda Civic. Insurance in Florida sucks so bad. It is so awful. Every once in a while, I'll see somebody post a comment about, when people move to these places, they should have to pay their fair share. Trust me, I assure you, we are paying our fair share on insurance prices. I pay 4 times the price on my insurance premium here in Florida than I did in Indiana. 4 times. So think of your insurance rate times 4. That's what I'm paying here. It's awful. Literally the insurance, no, I won't say that. I won't say that out loud. Expensive insurance, home insurance, car insurance. It's really a problem. A lot of insurance companies have left, so there's even less providers, and I don't pretend to know what's causing all this or solutions, but it's not good. So to close that comment out, if I was in Indiana, I would tell you our Y was actually a couple dollars cheaper than our Chrysler Pacifica that we sold to buy the Model Y. So just to give you an indication, it's not as expensive as people make it out to be, but you have to shop around because some companies, they charge a super crazy price just because, and others understand that true cost it should be to insure the safest cars on the road. So there's nothing crazy about the insurance on a Tesla versus other cars, unless your particular insurance company has a high rate for Teslas and you don't switch, and that's on you. Hopefully that helps. All right, we're just a few miles to go to that waypoint I dropped, and then we'll be taking the other back way back towards where we started. Impressions so far, I'm gonna say it's very good. There's a very clear difference between standard and hurry profile, and it's not just in getting up to speed and keeping that speed. One of the other things I've noticed, although it is still stopping nice and smooth on the hurry profile, it gave a lot more space on the standard profile when coming to a stop. So it would slow down even sooner on the standard profile than it does on hurry. And hurry is probably closer to how I stop. So I like that they're continuing to refine the differences between the profiles too. I think that gives more people different levels of comfort based on what they prefer.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Stony Brook West Parkway. Then keep right to stay on Stony Brook West Parkway.
So this left turn up ahead is kind of complicated because we're going to want to take a left, but there's an on-ramp and there's a side road, and they're kind of meshed together. So it'll be interesting to see how this takes it. It's always funny to sit here. I wish you could see it. The steering wheel is making slight turns even though we're sitting here still, which is funny. All right, so it just got over to the far left lane, which we want to be in these lanes over here, which obviously it's doing, but that I did not like. If we would have followed the lines, we would have stayed in the lane that we ended up switching over to. So that's the first thing is done that I'm not so sure about, other than the parking lot situation. I've not had a single intervention on this drive, although I did let it drive the wrong way into a parking lot, but that's how I would have done it too, because the entrance was blocked off by cones. So I have not even touched the accelerator to make it drive faster. I've not hit the brakes to make it stop sooner, anything. I've not even pressed the turn signals. Zero touches of any kind during our driving here, which is great. And right now it's just gonna sit here at the turn signal line. Just get over. Okay, maybe it was just like, all right, I'll stay in this lane as we merge. Got it. So V13 is starting to roll out. This is not an early access car. This is our Model X. And we just got it about an hour before I started streaming, so a couple hours ago. And so it's starting to roll out, which is great. So be on a lookout every day at whatever time your car is looking for its daily update. And hopefully sometime in the next day or two, you'll have it as well. You can experience it. It's really interesting right now. So it's doing 45 and it should be maxed out less than that in a 35, which it's been doing so far. But now that we're the cars, I would say it's going. That's really weird. So if I can, no, it for some reason it must think that this is a 45 because it's now it's slowing down to 35. So we must have been in a 45. My apologies. I shouldn't have said anything. This is my bad interpretation. All right, welcome to Tacos and Tequila, which was our waypoint to get us to come this direction. Let's see what it does in this parking lot. All right, so we have arrived in the parking lot, and it says we need a continue trip. Let's see, press and hold, tap brake to continue, and it's going to get out of this parking lot, which is pretty cool. It does still make me uncomfortable how close.
Now turn right to stay on Stony West Parkway.
All right, here we go. Up ahead, we've got some roundabouts, potentially a speed bump or two, if they are still there. I believe there's at least one still there. So hopefully we'll get to approach it without a car in front of us, so we can see if this car will both recognize it and slow down for it. I think there's probably 3 or 4 roundabouts up ahead over the course of the next 3 miles or so. So they're like every half mile or right around there. But we shouldn't have to stop.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Sorry for getting jumpy on the signal here.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
But that first roundabout was perfection. The second one, beautiful. Smooth, so smooth. Not jerky. Smooth, so smooth. Not jerky in any way. Just nice, smooth slowing down and smooth acceleration straight through it. Oh, the dog is allergic to the roundabouts. Murphy. All right. Should have, I believe, 2 more roundabouts up ahead, but you're getting a really good look at this. It's, man, it's like perfect. Picture perfect roundabout execution. Starting to get a little bit more foggy over on this side of town. We also have this huge concrete median right in the middle.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the second exit. Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
All right. Again, nice and smooth. Doesn't jerk at all, both accelerating and decelerating. So, I mean, it's pretty much mastered these roundabouts. It was just fine in V12. This is like as good as you could possibly do a roundabout yourself. That's what it's doing right now, which is really, really awesome to see. Now there's a couple cars coming, so let's see if it does anything any different on this roundabout. It might actually stop. Nope, it's gonna time it just right. It definitely slowed down sooner, so it almost felt like it was trying to time those cars. I don't know if that's actually what it did, but that's what it felt like. So that was pretty cool. All right, there should be a speed bump ahead. We'll see if it's still there. And the dog is having a sneezing fit in the back. All right, speed bump ahead. Let's see, I'm gonna let it just rock it if it does, and it doesn't slow down. It's super foggy. I can just now see it. There it is. Okay, the car did see it. That's awesome. Slowed down to 15 miles an hour. That was awesome. With the fog, that was really good. I didn't even see it till the last minute. And fortunately for me, I saw the signs giving you notice ahead, but wow, that was really good. So there you have it on speed bumps and roundabouts. Fantastic operation. Got a nice winding turns up ahead to get us back to our 3-lane highway, which is actually going to be an interesting left. So what V12 has been doing at the stoplight that'll be up ahead a while is once we get on State Road 27, which is 3 lanes in each direction, they actually added an apron for pedestrian crossing. So when you are going through the intersection to turn left, there's an even closer median towards you, which is there to protect pedestrians from cars, of course. But V12 wants to turn sharper than that'll allow, and it recognizes it, so it jerks back over to the right to complete its left turn. That's going to be coming up here very, very soon, maybe in 3 miles, and we'll see how V13 handles that left turn. It doesn't matter if there's somebody in front of you or not. It always takes this turn a little too hard before that median shows up, and then it has to jerk back to the right. So that'll be interesting to see here in about 3 miles. This is our last roundabout right here up ahead.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
And it is super, super foggy now. I don't know how well that comes across, but it is very thick fog right now. visibility is probably a quarter mile right now. That last car that just passed us, as an example, I couldn't tell you if it was in its own lane or not until we were next to each other. It's getting very hard to see specifically where things are like this. So coming up on these blind turns too, where we're going up a hill and starting to turn, these are going to be a bit of a challenge. I can't even see the turn yet, and I know it's right there. So there's the yellow signs. Yep, no issues. So even in fog, this thing's doing really well. All right, we got, after this straightaway, we've got a 90-degree to the right. So depending on visibility, it'll be interesting to see if this is any drama or not. Right here up ahead just a little bit more, we've got our big right-hand turn, and I can't see it yet with the fog. I can now see the right sign, so it is like coming up. Oh, that wasn't the spot. So yeah, there's no signs at the actual turn, so it's slowing down in anticipation. Man, I can barely see it. Here comes a truck. Tell me which lane he's in. You can't see. Now I can see him. That's how close you have to be to things in this fog. A little over a mile and a half, and we're gonna have our next challenge. And that'll be this left turn that I was explaining to you, where the median has been extended into the intersection. V12 will take the turn to go left across 3 lanes too sharp, and it does recognize that curb and corrects itself, and it jerks to the right to do so. So I'm anxious to see how V13 is going to handle this compared to what we've been experiencing with V12. So it's never hit that, but it definitely comes in too hot and has itself. Oh, and it's currently 69 degrees, and we have 69 people right now. And how many miles have we driven? 69, maybe? We have driven 42. That would have been cool if it was also 69. Ooh, man, that guy was coming in fast. I mean, I feel like you guys can see it on the camera. The visibility is not that great. It's pretty hard to see the road too far ahead. I can see those headlights just fine, but I cannot see the road around him at all till now. So that wasn't very much lead time on how far ahead we can see. All right, here we go. So up here at this stoplight, this is where we're going to have our left-hand turn. Let's see how it handles it. There's nobody in front of us, which has not had an impact in the past, whether there's somebody there or not, on how it takes this left-hand turn. So this light does sometimes take a while, so could be a minute or two before we get our green light. Oh, nope, perfect. Okay, so here we go. I don't know if you can see it, but there's, look at that. Nice. It has never been able to do that. I don't know if you could at least see it on the screen down here, but the median comes into the intersection to block for pedestrians at the crosswalk. That's recently been done. And V12 and before turns too sharp, has to correct itself and jerks to the right. So V13 has fixed that. And that was super smooth too. So that was great. It's been quite an improvement on some of these outlying areas that still needed tweaking. I've yet to touch any controls on the vehicle. How long have we been live streaming here? 80 minutes. I've not tapped the accelerator. I've not touched the brakes. I've not grabbed the steering wheel. I was prepared to at one point and didn't end up having to. So yeah, a true zero intervention, full self-driving experience tonight, to and from Disney. Gonna be about 50 miles over the course of that, what, hour and 30 minutes or so by the time we pull over here. So that's pretty good. This is the best FSD has ever been. So V13 is definitely good. It is, you're gonna notice a lot of things. I think smoothness is the theme of everything. So it's not just that it slows down better, it's smoother while it's slowing down. It's not that it accelerates better, it's smoother while it accelerates. It's not that it takes wide turns better, it's smoother taking those turns. So I really think that smooth is the word of the day for full self-driving V13. This is definitely going to be noticeable. So if you don't have full self-driving activated in your car, I think it's 99 bucks a month to subscribe to it, which is what I would recommend anyways, to help protect yourself from if you buy another car sooner than spending all that money. So it's a great way to experience full self-driving in your own life and see if it's worth it for you before you make a big expense on it. So V13 is definitely worth subscribing for to see where we're headed, because this has been an amazing evening of full self-driving. It's crazy to me. Sometimes I give the accelerator a little bit of a push just to get the car going instead of stopping, and I didn't do any of that. So interesting, as we're coming up to the light for Lake Louisa where we need to turn right, we still have not started slowing down yet. Let's see, this is going to be a little bit harder of a slowdown. That was not so great. That felt like V12 right there. So maybe I spoke too soon. That came in too fast. So there you go. Let's see, where's it gonna stop? Right here, right on the edge of the road. Very good. Let's see. All right, let me get the camera down. We can look at some stats here real quick, just for reference. We drove for an hour and a half, 46 miles. So 46 miles, I didn't touch anything once. We had, let's see if I can get some light here so you can actually see something. There we go, there I am. Anyways, we only had one slowdown there, and it was right there at the end. That was disappointing, but the fog is here, so I'm not sure. Those are the things I don't understand quite yet, is the navigation knows what's coming, but visually maybe it can't quite see it. But can't it use navigation to know, hey, the turn is like 1/10 of a mile ahead? Like, I don't know, those things I don't know what's talking to what. and what it's able to do or not do. So those are the types of things I'd like to understand better, because other than just now, we didn't have any hard stops like that. Actually, stopping was amazing. Acceleration was amazing. Smoothness of everything was great. We had some roundabouts. Murphy, you still back there, bud? Murphy, hey. He is passed out. He didn't fall out of the seat, so that's a good indication of the smoothness on stopping, which sometimes the poor guy slides right out of the seat. But my co-pilot back there is always a good help. And yeah, V13 is really, really good. I'm disappointed there at the last minute it had to do that, because it was almost flawless in that driving tonight. So an hour and a half of driving, that was really, really good. V13 is worth the hype. V12 was worth the hype. All the small changes in V12, they're minor. V13 is worth the hype. So yeah, there's not much to be improved, and I think that we're getting really close to where they're going to let us maybe spend a little bit of time not paying attention. That's what it feels like. But there's probably some regulations involved that they've got to deal with. So anyways, thanks for joining me tonight on this. I was pretty excited, and I wasn't sure if I was going to live stream it, but I asked a couple people and everybody wanted it. So here we are. Thanks for tuning in with us. I'm going to go to bed now because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but hopefully that was helpful, a little bit more realistic on what to expect. And hopefully you guys get V13 very soon. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully the next day, like in a matter of days, not weeks. So that's it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.